What happens when a secret is no longer a secret, but everyone pretends it still is? Think about it. The truth isn't always about what's said. Sometimes it's about what everyone knows that everyone else knows, but no one dares to say aloud. And that, my friend, is where real power, change, and strategy begin. That's the core idea behind Steven Pinker's "When Everyone Knows That Everyone Knows." Steven Pinker, one of the world's most brilliant cognitive scientists and best-selling authors, dives deep into how shared knowledge, common beliefs, and public awareness shape human behavior, society, and even global politics. By the end of this video, you'll understand how powerful collective knowledge is, how it influences revolutions, markets, culture, and personal relationships, and how to use it wisely in your everyday life. Buckle up. This isn't just about psychology. This is about how society really moves. Lesson 1. Common knowledge is more powerful than private knowledge. Pinker starts with a subtle but explosive idea. It's not enough for one person to know something. Real change begins when everyone knows that everyone else knows. It's the difference between knowing a fact quietly and that fact becoming undeniable, shared, and public. That shift turns individual awareness into collective power. This is why protests suddenly erupt after one viral video, why markets shift overnight after a single announcement, and why certain truths can't be buried once they become common knowledge. Real-life view. In 2010, a street vendor's death in Tunisia wasn't the first injustice people knew about. But when the story became public knowledge, when everyone knew that everyone else saw it, it sparked the Arab Spring. It wasn't just a tragedy. It was a tipping point powered by collective awareness. Lesson 2. Public signals create coordination. Private beliefs are weak, but public signals create coordination. Steven Pinker explains that humans don't just act on what they know, they act on what they believe others know. This is why revolutions, movements, or even trends often wait for a trigger event that signals, "Now everyone's aware." Once there's a common focal point, people can synchronize their actions without even talking. That's how large groups align, from protests to boycotts to viral social media movements. Real-life view. Remember the #MeToo movement? Women knew these stories privately for years. But when public stories broke and became common knowledge, something clicked. Women everywhere began to coordinate their voices. One voice became millions. Lesson 3. Silence is often strategic, but it has limits. One of Pinker's sharpest insights is that silence isn't always ignorance. Sometimes silence is strategic. People may know a truth but stay quiet because they're unsure if others know it too. But once everyone realizes that others know, silence breaks. This explains why taboos can last for decades and then collapse overnight. Common knowledge creates a tipping point where keeping quiet no longer serves anyone. Real-life view. For years, in some companies, everyone knew the toxic boss was a problem. But nobody said it out loud, until one brave employee spoke up and others followed. Suddenly, it wasn't a hidden frustration anymore. It was common knowledge, and the entire power dynamic shifted. Lesson 4. Common knowledge creates accountability. When something is known privately, people can deny, dodge, or distort it. But when it becomes common knowledge, accountability becomes inescapable. Steven Pinker argues that public awareness removes the option of plausible deniability. This is why public exposure, not just quiet whispering, is such a powerful driver of justice, reform, or reputation shifts. Real-life view. Politicians might get away with corruption for years behind closed doors. But once a scandal hits mainstream headlines and everyone knows that everyone knows, denial loses its power. Accountability is born in the public square. Lesson 5. Public rituals and shared moments strengthen collective belief. Pinker also explores how shared events, from ceremonies to trending hashtags to viral memes, transform scattered knowledge into unified common knowledge. When people participate in something together, they're not just expressing a belief, they're witnessing everyone else expressing it too. That's what gives these moments so much force. Public rituals don't just communicate information, they cement identity and collective confidence. Real-life view. Think of how national anthems at sporting events create unity. Everyone already knows their country exists. But standing together, singing and seeing others do the same reinforces that shared belief and strengthens belonging. Lesson 6. Common knowledge can both build and destroy. Pinker makes it clear. Common knowledge isn't always good or bad. It's a force. It can unite communities for justice, or spread fear, panic, or misinformation. Because once something becomes what everyone knows, it shapes how people act, whether it's true or not. This is why who controls the narrative often controls the reaction. Real-life view. During financial crises, panic spreads faster than facts. One rumor about a bank collapsing can lead to everyone rushing to withdraw their money, making the collapse real. That's the raw power of shared belief. Lesson 7. Leverage common knowledge. Don't just consume it. The most impactful people aren't just aware of common knowledge, they know how to use it strategically. Steven Pinker encourages readers to think critically about how narratives spread and how they can use shared understanding to lead, influence, or create meaningful change, rather than just reacting emotionally. Real-life view. Great leaders don't just talk. They create moments everyone can see and rally around. Whether it's a speech, a symbolic action, or a movement, they shape common knowledge intentionally. Lesson 8. Transparency is power. Pinker wraps his message with a powerful reminder. When information is transparent and shared, people can act boldly, collectively, and intelligently. Common knowledge can level power imbalances, end harmful taboos, and build stronger communities. But only when it's honest and open. In a world where information spreads fast, clarity is more powerful than secrecy. Real-life view. A company that hides problems festers in dysfunction. A company that shares them openly, with employees aware that everyone knows, finds faster solutions. Sunlight really is the best disinfectant. At the end of the day, knowledge doesn't just sit quietly in people's heads. It connects, multiplies, and moves societies. And when everyone knows that everyone knows, the rules of the game change. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever experienced a moment where something everyone already knew suddenly became public and changed everything? How did that shift feel? Drop your story in the comments below. If this summary opened your eyes to how powerful shared knowledge really is, then you're going to love what we do here at the Summary Shelf. We break down the world's most powerful books into deep, practical, and unforgettable lessons. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another game-changing summary. Because the next book might just be the one that reshapes how you see the world.